Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you, and I've sort of picked up a sort of Christmassy inspired vampy holiday party Christmas look, if that makes sense. You could easily wear this look to go out in the daytime, because I know I would. The lip colour is really gorgeous and flattering for pale tones and for olive skins, and I've done kind of a different eye as well. It has a little bit of glitter in there, but it's sort of dark lips and dark eyes, but it's also wearable as well. So if you want to see how to do this look, just carry on watching. So as you can see, I've already done this eye, and I've just filled in my eyebrows as well. It's kind of a bit of a personal thing, filling in your eyebrows. You really do how you want to do it. I just use Browsings by Benefit to fill in mine. I may do a tutorial if you want me to. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you may need to do, it's kind of optional, is to prime your lids. I'm using a Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. And I just like to take my finger, because it kind of melts the product. Just like to put it all over the lid and a bit underneath as well. Now, since this eye is quite simple to do, you're not going to need many products. The first thing you're going to need is a sort of a cream shadow. I'm using the Ico Fat Eye Stick in Old Gold, but you can use any sort of cream shadow. And this is kind of like a burnt, rustic, sort of amber colour. And I'm just going to apply this from the bullet just all over my eye. Don't worry if it's too messy, because you are going to blend. Then sort of open your eye and see where you want it to finish. Because my eyes are go quite far back into my head, and I don't have a massive lid space, I do it quite high up from the lid or the crease. Then I'm going to take a 217 brush and then just start blending that, and it should be quite easy to blend because it's cream. But just be careful that you don't go too high up. So I'm quite pleased with that so far. You can go back and sort of alter it if you like. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this palette by Stila, it's called In the Light, and I'm going to take the colour called Bubbly, which is a really nice sort of classic gold colour really. Then taking a clean 217, just take the colour and just press it into the lid, and because the cream's already on there, it should really stick to the cream and also give it more of an intense colour. And these two colours look lovely together, I think. And you can sort of blend it a little bit higher, so you just have the green or the gold poking out at the top. Then I'm going to take the first brush that I used, and I'm just going to put a little bit more just underneath. Then for gel liner, I'm going to be using this one by Bobbi Brown in the colour Graphite Shimmer Ink, and it's basically just a black with tiny little flecks of shimmer. And I'm just taking this slanted eyeliner brush. I'm not really doing a thick line, just trying to define the lash line. Then I'm just going to tightline the bottom lash line with MAC Stubborn Brown, which is basically just sort of like a deep chocolatey brown. Then I'm going to curl my lashes using the Shu Uemura eyelash colours. I'm going to pop a coat of Holt and Naughty Lash on, and I'm going to be using this first brush here just to separate the lashes, because the lashes I'm going to be using are very sort of separating and lengthening, so I don't want them to look too volumised because they won't fit in then. Now for the lashes, I'm going to be using some Eyelaw lashes, and these are called the Natural Light Lengthening, which adds length to shorter lashes. And they are really pretty in the terms that they lengthen, but they're not too obvious. So I think this would be really nice for a Christmas party if you're doing a dark lip as well. So I'm just going to apply my duotone dark glue for this because the eye is quite dark, so I like to use the dark glue. So now I'm going to take this really cool sort of like pressed pigment, and this is from a really old collection from MAC, but this is called the Mineralize eyeshadow in Word of Mouth, and I'm going to be using this middle colour here, which is kind of like a pressed gold pigment, but I'm sure you could find a pigment quite similar to that in your collection. And the brush I'm going to be using for this, if I can read it, is the 231, and just taking the colour, and I'm just going to pack it on top of the eye line that I've already done. So for the skin, I'm going to be using Stidler's One Step Correct, which is basically a skin tone correcting primer. So if you've got any redness or like sallow grey skin, or you need to exfoliate, or anything, you know, is not looking great with your skin, pop a bit of this on and do your foundation, and it should really brighten up your complexion. And it also help your makeup last longer as well if you're going out. So this would be ideal for parties and any sort of night out. So for foundation, I'm going to be using my Dior Forever SPF 25 PA++. I just like this foundation because it's good for your skin in a way. It provides a lot of hydration for dry skin, but it also sorry about that, that was my phone. But it also sort of gives you a really flawless look, but it still looks like skin, which I find to be amazing because I have quite a lot of redness, so I still want to cover it up, but I don't want to cover up the texture of my skin. And I'm going to apply this with a 130 brush because I've never actually used it to apply with that before. And if you're wondering, I'm in the colour 022. So it really doesn't feel like anything on the skin. It's very light and almost like skincare like. It really doesn't feel like a heavy foundation at all. That's what I like about it. But if you don't like fragrances in foundations, don't go for this because this is very heavily fragranced, which is a bit too much for me. I can smell it like already. So just to fix this makeup, I'm going to use a bit of powder, and for powder I'm going to be using MAC's Studio Fix in NC20. I'm just going to be using a Laura Mercier blending brush for that. Mainly this is to prep my skin for bronzer, but it's also to give, you know, a little bit more of a flawless look. And then we're going to move on to concealer. So for concealer, I don't really need much at the moment, but I'm going to use the Trish McEvoy Correct and Brighten in number 1. And if I need anything else, I'll put a little bit more on, but I don't think I'm going to be needing something too heavy. So just put it on that area. I probably should have applied this actually before my powder, but oh well. Yeah, I really do think that's all I'm going to need in terms of concealer. Don't want to, you know, put too much on. So now I'm going to take my favourite bronzer, which is Hoola by Benefit, and I'm going to be using my Sigma F25 brush, and I'm just going to be dusting this over my face, because when you've got a dark lip you don't want to look too pale, otherwise you'll look like you're going to a Halloween party. So you need to either look contoured or bronzed up, or have even a little bit of self-tanner on, because you just don't want to look like a ghost. Yeah, maybe in editorials, but in real life, you know, you've got to keep it real. So now for the lips, I'm going to start off by staining the lips. Now if you want a dark lip to last all night, the best thing to do is to exfoliate your lips before and use a stain, because that way if your lipstick ever comes off, your lips will still be dark and they won't smudge. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, if you bear with me a second, let me find this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ola Henriksen African Red Tea Exfoliating Lip Salvation, which isn't that exfoliating, but it's nice to use. Just take a Q-tip and then just apply it to the lips. The first product I'm going to be using for the dark lip is Steeler's Lip and Cheek Stain in Pomegranate Crush, which is like a dark berry colour. I'm going to be using a brush with this because sometimes you can apply too much. See, as you can see, you can put it on as evenly as you want, and you can put it on as light as you want. So if you don't want a mega dark lip, you could just have a nice little cherry stain lip. And then of course you can really build it up depending on how much colour you want. So now you've got a nice cherry stain lip, you can then go in with the lipstick, and I'm using the Stila Longwear lip colour in the colour Daring, which is a really nice maroon colour. And again, I'm going to take the lip brush and I'm just going to be building the colour up. So as you can see, the colour's really starting to build up. Then take a look back and see, you know, how you like the shape. If you want it to be a little more fuller, you can obviously draw over the line. And it's a lot easier to draw over a line when you've got a lip brush, because you can give it more of a precise look. So I'm going to slightly just overdraw on the bottom. So like I said, you can really have it as dark as you like this is probably the darkest it's going to be, or you can just build it up and have like almost like a stained cherry bitten look. So it really depends on the level, you know, of intensity you want. So yeah, that is the finished look, and I hope you liked it. It's kind of fall inspired and winter and sort of vampy in a way, great for Christmas parties, and it also has, you know, a little bit of that glitter in there as well. So yeah. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, because I post a lot of pictures on there. So when I'm not making videos and I'm busy, you can, like, you know, keep in touch. And I've been really pleased to follow you back as well, because I literally follow everyone that follows me. I try and follow them back because everyone has such nice pictures and I love looking at them. So yeah, hope you're having a great evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.